LA-born DJ and producer Jenna Redkē has spent over a decade building her name in a space that's largely male-dominated. From holding down residencies and touring internationally to performing on major stages like Coachella, she's carved out her lane in a city that doesn't hand you anything. But what really stood out to me wasn't just the resume, it was her story. Half Guatemalan, half Russian, Jenna grew up navigating identity in between cultures. That in between space didn't just shape who she is, it shaped how she hears music, how she creates, and how she connects with people on the dance floor. In this conversation, we talk about her journey from hip hop DJing to finding her voice in house music, the transition into producing, and what it means to start over creatively even after years of success. My name is Alex Narváez, and this is Grayscale LA. First, I want to say thank you for coming by and making the time to come through and like hang out in the studio.
Yeah, what a great setup.
Thank you. So I think for you, like even just getting to know you a little bit, it's really cool. First of all, even hearing like, I meet a lot of people here in LA, and I find a lot of people I meet are not actually from LA.
For sure, for sure.
Right.
I feel like most people are implants. Like,
Yeah, most
do,
people that I
yeah.
meet, especially in the industry, are like not from here. They're from somewhere else.
I mean, I get that all the time. So when I meet someone that's an Angelino, I'm like, oh, we're the same kind.
Yeah. So that's what I want to talk to you
Yeah.
about. Like, I mean, you're born and raised in a city
Yeah.
where you work in the industry, so you're always meeting people that are not from here. But you yourself, you're actually an Angelino, born and raised
born
here.
and raised. Yeah, I grew up in Pasadena, so I like saying LA because most people don't know where Pasadena, unless you're from like LA or California, but it's a small little area, but it's like a hometown feel. It's close enough to Hollywood and Los Angeles, all the areas that I travel to and I work and grew up partying in, but you get to go home to, and it feels like I said, a small town. So
I want to talk to you for sure also about like just the way that you were raised. I know you're like a multicultural background too, so
Yeah.
you're half Guatemalan, half Russian.
yeah,
That's a crazy mix. You're the first
it's like
person.
crazy and crazy.
You're the first person I've ever met that is actually those two
Yeah,
races combined.
it's a crazy mix.
So tell me about like your upbringing. Did you grow up with both your parents? Did you gravitate
Yeah.
towards one culture more than the other?
It's kind of a little bit of all of that. Like I gravitated towards one at one point in my life, and then I did the other. So it kind of changed. I think me growing up, I evolved as a person. I would
Right.
connect more with my mom's side of the family and then my dad's side, but I still felt in the gray. When you say grayscale, I always felt like when I was with my family on my mom's side, the Latina family, I felt so white being there because I wasn't fluent in Spanish. I looked Latina, but okay, different. I was taller, so it was like,
Right.
okay. And then when I would go on my dad's side of the family, we would third parties. I always felt a little, not awkward, but maybe misplaced or maybe not fully. I would fit in because then I looked too Latina, so it kind of made me feel comfortable with being kind of in the gray and being ambiguous and being a little bit of that, a little bit of this, but I resonated with both of them. So does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, of course.
so yeah,
I find for a lot of like mixed race people that I speak to, they generally identify more with one side for whatever reason that might be. Maybe
Yeah.
one parent wasn't as around, or maybe it was just they grew up in a community where that one culture was more predominant,
Yeah.
So I think in LA too, there's just a lot of Latinos out
For
here
sure.
too, right?
And you're right. So I think that I would say I did gravitate more towards the Latina side because my mom, us Latinos, we're just
yeah.
stick together, the barbecues, the family events.
What about the cuisine?
was-
What was the food like at home? Because was it-
Tamales. Oh, tamales for sure. For every holiday, it was tamales, tostadas for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
My dad loves Latin food. So he loves beans, rice,
Okay.
salsa. The hotter the better. And my mom can make all that stuff.
What about
Which-
Russian food? Did you grow
But
up with?
I was gonna say, so he grew up Jewish Russian. So she
Yeah.
would sprinkle a little bit of his upbringing, the food that he grew up with.
Oh, nice.
So matzo ball soup, uh, potato pancakes, so it was literally a blend of everything. So she made sure of that. I think she wanted us to just grow up learning both cultures. But of course, that side took over because my dad was close to his family, but not as close as my mom was to her family. And my dad just naturally also gravitated towards my mom's side. because he
Right.
likes the he said that he's like he always had a thing for Latina, so
And he won. He won.
he
He,
knew
he hit the lottery.
he was gonna, yeah.
But I love talking to people about their cultures and their upbringing, because regardless, there's no way to like not look at the impact that it has on your creative decisions,
Yeah,
right?
for
So like
sure.
fast forward, you're a DJ, you've
Yeah.
been doing this for a long time. And I want to know, like, how did your culture, especially being like multicultural background, how did that impact your music?
Yeah.
And like your like what kind of music you play? You're a
Yeah.
DJ, you've been a DJ for a long time, now you're
Yeah.
getting into production.
Yeah.
But tell me about that.
I think the upbringing was super influential in my music, not choice, but the openness I had to music. My dad would play classical music. He would play musicals. You were growing up. I mean, he played the viola. So I grew up with that side, like, I don't know if you want to say white, but like, yeah. And then my mom listening to salsa, cumbia, and it was just like a fusion of everything. So then my brother, then growing up, that expanded his obviously openness to what do I like? I'm open to reggae. I'm open to hip hop, the Beatles, like it literally, and I think because he's older than I was influenced by him as well. So I
Mhm.
liked rock, heavy rock, 70s. I mean, it literally evolved over time. But again, I think the fact that I grew up with two different cultures and the music that they brought an awareness for me, right?
Of
And then
course.
therefore opened my ears to everything. Like I welcome all music.
You welcome on me.
Literally.
It sounds like, I mean, so your dad was the one that had the actual musical experience.
Yeah.
So
he
you're
would play viola. He played the viola for many years. He was super.
Whoa.
I think
Did
that
you
was
pick up the viola?
he tried to make me play violin, and I was a hyper ass kid, so
You're like, nah.
I would practice 30 minutes, and I'm running around in the streets, like I just wanted to play outside.
Right,
I was
right,
like a
right.
tomboy, so yeah. But he tried to get me into music, and I remember he would play with the neighbors. He had like a little band, like a 3-piece band.
Whoa.
He played the viola, the neighbor played the violin, and then I swear, I think French horn. His best friend had the French horn. So they would come over and do performances for us. I didn't know what music it was. I'm like, okay, what is this? Like their own 3-piece band. So I think just obviously those like sprinkle little seeds in my head, like
of course.
you're gonna play music, like yeah. So I think I was and my mom didn't play, but she sang at the house, dance. We always had music, whether like I said, classical. My dad was bumping classical music, like it was coming from his soul, like, and then my mom too, while she's cooking, listen to radio, listen. So I think all that just influenced me big time.
It's nice to hear like the influence was there early.
For sure.
And even though as a kid you don't really like absorb it in that way, later
yeah.
it manifests into something else.
You don't
right?
realize how they always say, right, your upbringing is so influential, like
For sure.
how you were raised, and my parents are happily married for 40 something years. I see that. So you don't see until you get older, like, wow, I know where I got that impact or how it impacted me now.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's
yeah.
I love that. Let's talk about so like your decision to like move on the turntables and like start DJing. How did that happen?
I was interning here at Power 106, the radio station here.
Oh, yeah.
And this was right out of high school. Actually, no, I think it was a couple years later. And I just met so many DJs while I was interning. And I remember it was one night, this guy was DJing, and I knew him from the station. And that was the first time I was behind the decks. So you're at the club, you see the DJ, them in their element, but I was behind, like watching what he was doing. And I think I just was so impressed. I think the fact that it was a guy doing it, and I'm like semi-tomboy. So I'm like, I can do that. I want to do that. So I asked him, I was like, hey, can you teach me how to DJ? And he's like, no, no. He was like straight up, because I think he's used to girls having that same reaction. He's like, I'll teach you if you end up getting your equipment. I'm not gonna waste my time. Like, and I was like, 2 weeks later, I charged it to my credit card, 2 turntables, Techniques, a Best Tech mixer, and that was it. And then after that, I just that started it. It was supposed to be a hobby, and then I think it caught on really fast. People were impressed, I think, or they were like, hey, you're a DJ? 2 weeks later was my first gig.
Whoa.
I don't know what I was doing, but I said yes. And it was like, yeah.
So you jumped in.
I jumped in, seriously. Yeah.
And so since then, at that point, it was your first gig. You made money doing it.
I don't even remember if I did it for free,
No.
to be honest. Like,
okay.
But my first gig, I don't remember.
Right.
But like if I got paid. But I know shortly after it became a thing where I would get paid. So
Right.
it went from a hobby to now a business to, so it wasn't like I was planning on doing it that way. It just became something I wanted to jump in and dive into. And then all of a sudden I didn't do the work. People were coming to me for it. So I guess it was kind of easy at that point, like an easy start. I wasn't,
Yeah.
the not that DJing was easy. Getting the gigs at first was easy. Because at that time, this is like 14 years ago, not like female DJs, it wasn't like
Yeah, I was about to say, so at
yeah.
that time too, it must have been a novelty because even now, the DJing space is still predominantly male dominated,
yeah.
right? But at that time, like I'm even thinking about like the DJ, the Red Bull freestyle, and all those competitions, and like now you're starting to see more women in those competitions. But beforehand, I'm talking even 5 years back, you weren't seeing that many women, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So at the time when you started,
it was a novelty.
it was more of a novelty. Do you how do you feel like, because you started at that time in Power 106, did you feel like people were taking you seriously? Did you feel like you had to work harder as a female DJ?
Yeah. I mean, again, the Power 106 was just I wasn't even interning to be a DJ. I just wanted to do music somehow. So I was only there for maybe 6 months. I don't even remember. But yeah, afterwards, I think that they took me seriously. I think it was weird. I never even thought about it, but I do remember being taken seriously for a couple years. And then I think the busier I got, and maybe the more attention I got, I think that's when people were like looking at you with the magnifying glass. Like, does she really know how to DJ? Is she good? Comparing me to probably other men. And, like I feel like men start here and women have to go here. We have to prove that we're here. It's never equal, I don't think. So it became, like having to prove yourself, but I never felt the pressure of that because I just was doing it for myself. And I'm like, I don't have to prove to anybody but myself. Like, that's it. So I never felt it heavy, if that makes sense, but I'm sure it's there. It's been there.
Do you, and like by nature, are you competitive? Like, do you compare yourself to other DJs and things like that?
Yeah, I compare it's more like a friendly competition.
Yeah.
I give people their flowers. Like, I want them to excel, but I'm like, I could do that. Like, I could be better, but in like such a way that drives me to be better. Like my craft, I'm trying to excel in my craft. So it's like a friendly competition with like that they don't know that they're in,
It's interesting because you're right too. Like hearing you talk about like where a female DJ will start versus a male DJ, it just seems like there's more to prove in terms of like being taken seriously.
For sure.
How do you find that you are in your current place as a DJ now producing as well? Do you feel like you're getting the flowers, the respect that you deserve?
I think so. After DJing for this long, I should be. Like, I put in the work and I do feel like your name, like people know me now, like, and I don't mean that like in a like arrogant way. I just mean like they know I've been in this industry for a while. I've been doing this. So, and they've seen me, they've seen my work and they've heard my work. So I think, like I feel, and now with the production on top of it, it's taken a while, but like I'm legit. So it's like, if you don't know now, you know.
Right. We were talking about you being in it for a while. I want to go through some of the some of the moments in your career. Before we started rolling, I was asking you about the Complex and McDonald's DJ competition.
Yeah.
To me, I read that. I'm like, that's dope because I've worked for Complex for a long time too, right? Tell me about that. That sounds really dope.
It's actually funny. So Aaron, I forgot how I met him in LA. It must have been, I maybe did a gig that he booked me through, or I don't know, but I had moved to New York 2012. So he is the one that told me about it. He's like, hey Jay, you should jump in on this competition. I was like, it's a scratching competition, DJ. I was like, homie, like, when did you ever think that I can do this? Like, I knew how to scratch a little bit. I maybe he saw that, but not like in a battle. Like,
so it's like a technical DJ
battle. Yes, a technical DJ battle.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't just like look cute and mix a few songs. And I'm like, I told him I'm not doing it. Like, no. He signed me up for it. Like the application. He filled it out because he knew I was not going to even do that part. Filled it out for me. He's like, yo, I signed the application. You just have to do a video. I told you I'm not doing it. Like, what do you want me to do? He's like, just introduce yourself. Like, he literally pushed me to do this. He felt I should. I don't know what gave him that idea. But so I ran with it. I did a 3-minute video introducing myself and then another 2-minute mix of me actually DJing, some little techniques. And then the competition was like heavy. It was like you had to do 3 3-minute set battle, like scratching theme songs. Like, so I was representing the West Coast.
Wow.
So I had like
no pressure.
Yeah, no. I'm like, what? Like, also, seriously. So there was like East Coast, West Coast, and I don't know, like Midwest. I don't remember. But so yeah, so I just remember I had my friend in New York who had won the what is it? Is it the Red Bull? I think it's the Red Bull.
Red Bull
like,
freestyle?
Yeah, he won it like 3 years.
Whoa.
So imagine that's my mentor. So we would stay up till 3 a.m, like showing the turns. I wish I had the video, like turns and like crazy stuff I had never done, but literally night after night practicing. Times where I'm going to sleep and he's still practicing, like just because he has the stamina. I didn't. I'm like, I can't do this. And then the competition was there, and then they flew us to Miami, and it was crazy. I was so nervous. I mean, because you're also doing tricks with your hands. So I'm like shaking, and I'm like
that would be nerve-wracking.
Yeah. It was crazy.
And how did you do?
I did really good. Yeah. I did. So I forgot his name, but it was 3 of us that actually ended up making it. So I ended up being the one representing. So a bunch of people obviously sent their demos and everything. So I made it to obviously the finale, and the one guy, there was only one place, and that was the first guy, but I think I should have gone second for sure.
Oh, you're coming back for that. Would you do it again?
Oh my God. Yeah, maybe.
You would?
Aaron, don't sign me up for it.
No. We got this on record.
I would, but I'm rusty. Like the music I spin now, you're not scratching. You're not even like, it's not about that. But I think I would like to.
Let's talk about that, because you referenced the music you're playing now. Yeah. So you went from, obviously, your first inspiration to even DJ was Power 106, which is predominantly hip hop, right? Yeah. So you started with like the hip hop mentality of DJing, and then you moved into house.
Yeah.
Right? Where did that transition happen, and how did it occur?
I think it started with hip hop. I loved hip hop, and it was vinyl. I made it sure, like, clear
so
that
dragging around crates.
For sure, milk carton crate. Like, it was. I mean, few gigs after that, I was like, I'm not about that. I'm not about that life. I can't do this anymore. Like, I just was trying to be a purist, whatever. Right. But the experience, I wanted to go through it. So started with that a couple of years, and then moving to New York. At that time, it was open format. So it was a lot of hip hop and dance, like a blend of it. And I was working so much. So the clubs I was doing was open format. So I knew, I always
open
loved
format is like top 40?
Like top 40, hip hop and dance. But I always loved house, but I think I just felt this is where my journey was. Like, and the work I was doing was focused on that. And I think there was a time where I don't even know where the moment was where I decided to just go with a different change. And that's scary, because I had been doing this for 10 years now, maybe 9 years. And to just switch, like, it's like I'm not comparing at all myself to Beyonce, but it's literally with Beyonce, she had this is her vibe, and now she's doing country, like, but she can do whatever she wants. She can be in opera, like, so it was scary for me because I'm not there, and I'm like, how am I gonna just switch it up all of a sudden? Like, it was scary for me. It kind of felt like I was starting over, like in a weird way, but it also felt good because I felt like I was shedding like a skin off. Like, it's not in a good or bad way. It just was like a different journey for me. So I just kind of evolved to that. So, and then the music I was producing, that's what was calling to me. So I think that really pushed me to change, was the music I'm producing.
What would you say it is about house? Like, what's the energy or the vibe around house that makes you gravitate towards it?
I think it's the freedom to, I think going to the house clubs, there are songs that I don't even know who it is, who's singing on it, but you're dancing. Like, there's something about the frequencies, the rhythm, the energy that you may not know the song, but it's going to make you dance. And I feel like with like hip hop, the events I would do, you couldn't even play a new Drake song. If they don't know it, they're not dancing or singing to it. I feel like it was more confined and like restricted, right? And with house, it just felt more free. And even the way I'm producing it, like I said, I don't know, it just resonates with me more. Like it sounds like it's easy to produce, but it's not. There's so many layers to it, you know, and I love that about it. I think it's challenging for me.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different
House is
thing.
interesting because I think that, you know, there was a moment in the 80s and the 90s where like dance music was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
at the top tier.
Right,
And it
right.
went away for a little bit. And then there's been a resurgence in the last decade or
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
and
yeah.
even more recently with artists like Drake and
Yeah,
Beyonce
yeah, yeah.
doing house
Doing
music,
house.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
How do you feel about like this resurgence? Do you feel like more like a purist about it, or do you feel like no, it's cool when Drake and Beyonce and these people jump on like house?
I think sometimes I'll be like, why are they jumping on that? Like,
Right.
but I don't know. I feel like the freedom of being able to express yourself in any genre is important. So
Yeah.
to not limit yourself. So who am I to limit and say Drake can't be on a house track? Or, you know, I feel like it kind of is restricting to artists to think that way. And I don't like restricting myself or restricting other artists. So yeah, I think like it should be. It's worldly. That house is worldly. So I think that's why a lot of people like Drake and Beyonce will jump on it because they know how universal it is. Like it
Yeah.
speaks to so many different cultures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking a bit about also your journey into producing,
Yeah.
right? And you're telling me like right now you're on the grind, so you're going
Yeah,
to
yeah.
school to like to pick up more musical skills to produce,
Yeah.
as if you weren't busy
I
enough
know.
already, right? So tell me about like when you told me that, I really love that approach because I feel like, and I said this to you, like not a lot of creatives when they reach a certain point in their career, they get too comfortable and they're like,
yeah.
like I could go back to school or I could
Right.
learn this new skill,
Yeah.
but I'm already making money doing this. Like I'm already here. I don't want to like stop what I'm doing here, take time for making money
Right.
to like scale back and like
Yeah.
develop a new skill. But I'm looking at it from your perspective where it's like, this is great because you're taking a step back in a sense, not really, but a step back to take a huge step forward in producing.
For sure.
Talk to me about that.
I feel it's done the opposite of scaling me back. Time-wise, maybe a little bit, you know?
Time-wise,
but,
yeah.
But it's given me that spark in DJing again. It's like the energy, because I've been doing it for so long, right? So it's
Right.
not you get tired of it, but you do get complacent. I don't practice when I go to gigs. I just kind of like, I know I got it, but
Right.
it's one of those things that's making me a better DJ. It's making me hear things differently, even though I've had the experience of performing in different venues and to different crowds, but it's opening my mind again to the love of music. And yeah, it's reinforcing that I love it. Like I'm doing it because no one's paying me to go to school. I'm losing money to go to school, but I know it's gonna benefit me. And it's when you love something, and I love music, you want to know everything about it. Like when you're in love with a person, like your significant other. I want to know what you like. What's your favorite food? What's your favorite? So that's how I feel about music. Like, how can I get better at this in my craft? And it's not just DJing, it's producing. And I feel like the more tools you have, the better of an artist you are.
And where do you find like where's the intersection between DJing and producing? Like, is there a place where they meet that you're kind of in both worlds? Like, are you gonna start playing music that you've created into your sets? Is that
for sure?
kind of
That's the goal, right?
Mhm.
Is I feel when you're a DJ, and I'm not dogging anybody that's just a DJ not producing, but I feel that is the natural evolution as a DJ is to produce or producing and then DJing. But it's always been something I wanted to do. Producing has been, I think before I even wanted to DJ, I wanted to produce. And
Right.
I think I just had the opportunity to DJ first, right? And so I think now it's to show when you're performing other people's music, you get this high, right? When you see people like enjoying your set. So imagine that's your song that you created. Now they're vibing the same way. It's and I feel that like, and I play some of my songs now and no one really knows it's my song because I'm like testing it out. And when I see their reaction, I'm like, oh my God, it just, again, you get this like excitement,
Right.
because you're like it's like you're wearing your heart on your sleeve, and you want people to react good to it, but whatever reaction, I just want you to react because it's something I created. So yeah, they definitely blending now nicely. Like it's a beautiful combination.
I
right
love
now.
it. I'm happy for you too
Yeah,
to
thank
see
you.
like growth as a creator. Like I'm saying, a lot of
Yeah,
creatives
yeah.
don't choose to go that route to like learn new things, but it's nice that you're doing that.
Because we get stuck, right?
Yeah.
In anything, whether photography, videography, like, and there's so many new programs to learn. I think, you only are as stuck as you let yourself be.
Yeah.
Like you have to be open to change, uncomfortability, and that's what I'm uncomfortable. Like producing isn't easy. Like it's not as easy as DJing is for me. It's like a frustrating. You're like,
Right.
what am I doing? Like, am I that good? Like it's starting over, but that's growth, right?
Of course.
It's like that's hunger pains, basically. Like,
Yeah. It's interesting too, because you talk about like the growth even with technologies and softwares, right?
Yeah.
And that's something I think every industry in the world is facing changes with AI. But a lot of creatives too. Like I'm here in LA now full time, and I'm talking to so many creatives, and they're like, "Man, AI is really
know.
impacting film, television, music,
sure.
right?" I don't know if you saw this, but Kehlani just posted recently, like kind of like a post expressing her frustration against this new AI artist. But the point of the frustration was that it's like, this is not a real person. This is an AI artist
I know.
that just got a record deal.
Yeah.
So when you think about that and you're like now moving into actually making music,
Yeah.
and I thought about this too, like as myself, I studied radio and television and media communications way back in the day. I'm an OG now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But like back in the
OG.
day. So now I'm like, I wonder how are universities even teaching radio and television production now? Because AI is kind of taking over. So
Right.
because you're in school too, I would love to hear like, is there any conversations around AI? And
I think it's like with anything like that, there's good things and there's bad things, right? Like you said, the AI, Kehlani, I agree. Like we're gonna be going to concerts with this fake AI. Like it's a weird.
it's not a real person.
it's
You're
a-
like vibing to like a mute that computer made it.
Yeah,
right?
it's
And
weird, right? It's
yeah.
but then there's amazing things that are happening with AI. And
Mhm.
I think so it's a give and take, right? And I think still people crave a connection, that one-on-one. And I can learn what I'm learning on YouTube. I can learn all that stuff, right? But going to class and going with other students and having the professor teach me, I don't know. I still think we still crave that. We
Yeah.
still crave that, right? Like so an AI can I think the one-on-one with the person is what we crave. So no matter what, I think we're still gonna have that. I think it's gonna interfere with the AI a little bit. It might blend and mix whatever, but I think we're still humans and we need that connection.
Yeah. It's interesting too because like technology is such a useful tool. Like we talked about the crates.
Yeah.
You don't need the crates anymore.
I
You
have
have
a backpack. I have
like
thousands
you
of
have your
songs.
laptop and you're good to go, right?
Yeah.
But like technology does make things easier, but it's like at a certain point,
Where is the fine line, right?
where's the
Like,
fine
where is
line? And you know, the further we dive into like a virtual AI world, we're like less connected,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And
So
I think
that's-
music is always a universal connector.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see like this AI artist, like, are people really gonna want to see this AI in person? Like, I don't know, or maybe it's a show. It's weird. It's going so fast. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even comprehend why some people like certain things when it's AI, but then I can see it. Like,
Right.
so who knows where we're gonna be in 10 years? I just feel like we have to kind of embrace it. As artists, we also can't let that hinder us. You know, we're still gonna have to separate ourselves from them meaning AI. Like, so it's like instead of being here frustrated and upset, you got to find a ways to reinvent yourself. Like,
It's interesting too because you're starting music. How long ago have you been producing now? 5 years? Or?
4 years.
4 years
now. Like,
so you
little under 5
started
years.
fairly recently with the wave of AI.
Yeah.
Are you already thinking about like, okay, I'm gonna produce in tandem with AI, like maybe using
Yeah.
AI tools?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure. We have that. There's programs now that make production a lot easier.
right.
The guy that taught me, he even laughs. He's like, if you learned when I learned 20 years ago, it would be a whole different story. Like, it's so much easier with plugins. Like, so many, you don't need an engineer. You can buy a plugin that does the mixing for you. Like, obviously, it's different. You have to know the software, but it does make it easier. Like, and you can't really complain about that. But in the end, good music, you got to do it yourself. Like,
Yeah.
AI computers aren't going to do it for you.
Yeah.
So
That's the truth. Yeah.
it's that soul. Like, music is coming from your heart. So that's where it begins. So yeah, that's never going to go away.
Let's talk about LA a little bit again
Yeah, yeah.
because I've gone out to a few parties and like networking events,
Yeah.
and I've noticed that the music of choice in LA
Yeah.
is house music. Like
Yeah.
like a lot of parties that I go to, it's like a lot of house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have noticed that.
What parties? I need to go to those.
Okay.
No,
Well,
yeah.
just like networking events or like
Really?
dinners and things like that. Even if you walk into like I don't know, like hotel lobbies and stuff, it's like kind of
Yeah.
like more like on the house side of
Then it, yeah, yeah.
than maybe it was before.
Right.
I'm from the East Coast. I'm from Toronto,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Is
that's
house
not.
big there? I mean,
I mean, I
or is
think
it like a
I
mix?
think house is big in the sense of what we were discussing earlier.
Okay.
Like as the mainstream picks it up,
Yeah, yeah.
it'll make its way around. So yeah, of
Yeah.
course, there's house in Toronto,
Yeah.
but like I think being from the East Coast, we still gravitate towards more like hip hop,
Yeah, yeah.
more even top 40.
Yeah.
But like you being here in the LA scene and being from here, do you find that like is house music like a predominant music
I
here?
It's funny because I think it's opposite, but I know what
Okay.
you're saying. I think LA has never been known for the house scene. I mean,
Mm.
East Coast, New York, where I mean that's predominantly like,
New
and
York,
there's hip
yeah.
hop too, of course. Like, but I mean, it's huge in it was at one point over there, right?
Right.
So here, it's never been it's never been known for house music, but I do think it's the wave that you're talking about. I think music just goes in waves.
Yeah, for sure.
Like there's a
It's
time
cyclical.
where hip hop is just heavy. And then there's the EDM. Remember, like there's EDM Vici at one point. Then it was Calvin Harris, like, oh my God, every radio station. So I think it's in waves. So maybe now that's what you're feeling is the
Mhm.
wave of house. And I mean, I'm all for it. So like, yeah,
You're like, I'm living.
the
I'm
more
good.
house, the better. Yeah. Yeah.
Talk to me about. I know you hit some big stages, Lollapalooza. You
Yeah.
hit some cool stages. Tell me about like a memorable moment that you've had performing.
Yeah, I would say even Stagecoach, because I loved Lollapalooza, but I think Stagecoach because it was country, right? It's country music. It's a festival for country music, and what's crazy is they hire a DJ that does house music. So it was how do I blend and how do I get those country folk to dance to my music? So and that I think that was challenging, but that's what I love about what I do is you never want to fold and just do what the crowd loves, right? And I'm not gonna. They hired me to do me, but to obviously bring a party to the crowd. So it was like finagling lyrics in tracks in a way that were remixes, but are remixes that I enjoy doing because there's a lot of remixes that I just would never play, but they may like. So I really enjoyed the set. It was amazing. I usually don't get on the mic, but I was just hyped, like hyped. Like the crowd was just like when you say when you're one, you're connected. That's what it felt
Right.
like. It felt like I could have been like, now jump, give me 10 jumping jacks. They would have. It just was. We were in sync. It was awesome. So I think that was a great experience
That's a
because
really
again,
cool
it wasn't
experience.
my typical house festival that I would probably choose to do. But I loved it. And again, it goes back to music. We just want to feel connected when you music brings people together. So and that's my job is to do that and to make you guys dance.
That's really dope.
So
When somebody asks you, like you've been doing this for a hot minute now, DJing,
Yeah.
now producing, what's the essence of it for you? Like if someone were to say, describe to me the feeling of what it is that keeps you doing this, what is it?
that's such a good question. It's simple, but literally is the love of music. I also love performing. So it's a combination of both. But even when I'm not DJing, I'm still researching music. I'm still learning like what is the world listening to? How can I adapt that into my sets? How can I bring those songs into my production? So again, but I think it stems from the love of music, whether it's playing the keys, whether it's listening, where it's running my miles listening to whatever track, or it's going through breakups. I mean, music has literally like helped me through every stage of my life. So I think it's just the love of music. So
I want to touch on this because I feel like culture and music are always like so tight knit.
yeah.
And you've seen, obviously, we've all seen this huge wave of like Latin music
Oh, yeah.
rising with Bad Bunny and all these artists.
Love it.
Do you ever see like, I think it would be dope. I have yet to see this, but maybe you're aware of this. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it. Is there like a reggaeton and house mix yet? Like, is there
Yeah.
like a genre that's
I mean, it's funny because it wouldn't be described like reggaeton house, right? But
right?
it's like tribal. I feel like drums, like in tribal house, reggaeton drums, heavy drums. It's a slower BPM, but it's drums, Caribbean vibe. So tribal, even the Afro house, like it all feels blended in one, right? It's just a higher
Mhm.
BPM, maybe a different synth, maybe different certain sounds that are like triggered towards Afro or tribal or reggaeton. But speed of reggaeton, like I'm doing tracks, I learned some like if you use certain techniques in reggaeton, but you just bump up the BPM and you're smart with it, it's reggaeton just sped up. Like
That's dope.
so yeah, and of course then you put Latin vocals on it. That's it. It's a wrap. So
That's true. You know
yeah,
what I would love to see? I would love to see somebody put like, and I'm sure this has already been done, but like more folkloric, like Guatemalan
for
sounds
sure,
on
for
like
sure.
house.
Yeah, they
That would
have.
be
Yeah, yeah,
fire.
yeah. I mean, they have that. Like that is where even my music is evolving to. Is my roots. Is the Latin roots mixed with my love of house music and drums, and that's me figuring evolving to the artist that I am. Is bringing the influence that I have of my multicultural background into my
Yeah. You
music.
got to we got to sample your pops and
Oh,
put
for
them on a
sure.
track. Get your pops with some violin, some viola, and
Oh, that would be so fun. I
right.
think the last time he played was a couple years ago and he was so rusty. He got so frustrated. But yeah, got to get him on the violin. My mom is just saying something in Spanish. I don't think she's a singer. So yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I want to end on a note of just more of like your feelings towards being a woman in the musical space, because I feel like again the world that you're entering now, even as a producer too, it also
Oh, for
is more
sure.
of like a limited space for
Even
females,
more
for
so.
women.
Yeah, even more so. I didn't realize that till
Yeah,
again, because I don't go into things limiting myself, saying,
right.
oh, but I'm a girl, I can't do this. Like, I actually like that there's not that many females in it because I do want to set a path for other females to do it. Like, just because I'm a girl doesn't mean I can't do it, you know? Like, you don't limit yourself. And I think that's important for women to see that we are capable of doing things that men can do, you know? And unfortunately society puts those restraints on us and we do that for ourselves as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice to kind of break out of those barriers.
Do you think that those categories should exist? So, like for instance, when men and women get separated for competitions, like
Yeah.
in let's say there's a DJ competition.
Yeah.
I actually don't know if the women and men get separated, but I think
No.
they might. I don't know. Maybe they
No, because
don't.
I was competing with men,
Okay.
both men. It was just so I was the only girl that made it. So it was two guys and a girl.
So do you
So
think it should be open format like that all the
for
time?
sure.
Yeah.
Now, if we're talking about music, yes. Like I
Yeah.
think it should be open. In certain things, like obviously we're gonna do sports and stuff, like I'm not gonna compete, you know, with a dude that's like 6'3" and like I'm
Right.
sprinting. Like, no, I'm like it doesn't physically doesn't
Right.
make sense,
Right.
right?
Right. Of
But
course.
with music, yeah, I think production, DJing, like there's no like your who you are, like the genetics doesn't stop you from becoming a better producer because like I'm a man or I'm a woman. Like I think it's your talent, straight up talent and hard work. That's it. Like that's what's gonna get you far, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
What would you say to somebody, especially like a younger woman who might be just starting as a DJ,
Yeah.
starting a career in music?
Yeah.
What kind of advice would you give?
Ooh, just this isn't for the faint of hearts, that's for sure. I think this industry is ugly, it's scary, it can be lonely. It could bring a lot of negative things out, right? Like not trusting anyone. Like I've been let down a few times and from both men and women, but mostly men, right? Like having expectations. But I think that staying confident in yourself and respecting yourself, respecting your boundaries, but also sticking with who you are. I think that's the toughest thing is you can bend. It's easy to bend this way and that way. And I think just like standing like rooted in who you are, I think is the most important in this industry for
You know what's
sure.
so challenging about that? Because I'm even thinking back to probably your career. When we start in this industry, we're young and we're hungry and
Yeah.
we're willing to bend
For sure.
because you want that opportunity. So
Yeah.
I can only imagine as a woman who's trying to make it in the music industry, DJing and
It's
other
true.
forms,
Right,
as a singer,
right,
whatever,
right.
right? But like, there's always going to be manipulative people
For
that
sure.
want to, say they're going to help for their ulterior motives or whatever. I'm
Right,
sure
yeah.
you've come across that. I'm sure a
Yeah.
lot of women face
Of
that.
course, yeah.
And like, I almost feel like when you say stick to your boundaries, and
Yeah.
it's easier said than done when you're young
sure.
and you like really want to make it.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone that's maybe in that tough position?
It's not worth it. I think in the end, because you have to go to bed at night with yourself. You have to deal with those decisions you made, right? And you can get there. Like I'm honestly gonna say I've never had to been that way where I sacrifice like my sexuality or to get somewhere. Like I'd rather take the longer route. This is for longevity. This isn't a sprint, you know what I mean? So for you promising me that, like, no, like I can do that myself. I mean, not myself, but I don't need to do that to get there. I'd rather take the long road. I'd rather prove that I am legit and that I'm authentic. Like I'm not gonna sleaze my way into that. So I think just say no. Like it's not worth it. Like for me, my sanity, my pride, how I view myself, my respect is so much more important than anything they can offer me, to be honest.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
And I think this also touches on, before we started rolling, we were talking about like as a female DJ, also kind of finding even the right branding for yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to be, sexy, but you also don't want to be like over sexualized, where people are not looking at you for your skill anymore, right?
Yeah.
So like, how do you find that balance?
I think that's an ongoing balance. I think just being a woman, like we're taught to be sexy. We're taught that we are sexy, right? So I think it's just being true to yourself. If you want to be sexy and that's your brand, like go for it. Like, but you never have to feel like, when you start feeling like you have to do it, I think that's when you're making compromises that you shouldn't be doing, And I've dealt with that where I'm like, okay, well, I'm a DJ, so I should be sexy when I'm up there. And then there's times where I'm like, no, but I want to be taken seriously, so I don't want to be too sexy. You're constantly thinking, and I don't think men have to think about that. Like, they're not up there thinking like, yeah, should I be sexy tonight when I'm DJing? Like, they're not worried about like any of that. Like, oh, should I show more of this?
I mean, maybe some DJs.
Maybe, yeah. Actually, that's true. But like not in like a sexualized way, right?
Right.
So.
And if it is, they are welcoming it and they
exactly.
hope so.
Yeah, I don't see a DJ with a bow tie, like shirt off. Like, no, it's like they're like Chippendale, what is
right.
Magic Mike up there.
That's so funny.
And even if they were, they're still not getting compared to like how a woman, if she's out there wearing like pasties and stuff, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
So it's a tricky thing to talk about because I feel I never want to downplay or hate on the girls that are doing that, like all for it, but then there's other women that I want to be taken seriously. And for me, I feel like if I act and look a certain way, I won't be taken seriously. Right. I want you to judge me on my craft, not on my looks. But then it's nice because people like to see beautiful things, and right. And being a woman in an industry that it's like a novelty, you kind of aren't mad at it. So, it's just, it is what it is, kind of like.
Let's end on this note. This whole conversation has been about the gray area, how you managed to maneuver and have a journey in the gray area. For someone who feels like maybe they don't belong or they're like not mainstream enough, how would you explain to them that being in the gray is like, that's not a bad thing? Yeah,
I think being in a gray, it can be taken, I guess, two ways. Like in the gray, it's like you don't know where you're at, right? But then the gray could be you're ambiguous. And sometimes it's nice to not follow the crowd. Sometimes you have to set that path and find it on your own and set a different path. There might be other people that are like, your gray might be their thing, So it's nice to kind of make your own path and figure out what that is. And it may take time. Like there's some people that do, like there's times where I'm like, I do feel like I should go that way because it's the thing, right? And to go against the grain is always harder. But I think if that's who you authentically are, then that's going to be an easier path for you anyway, because you're being true to you, who you are. And that's always like the key to everything, right? Like, yeah, you don't have to front, just be yourself.
Keep it real.
Yeah, just keep it real. So
that's good advice. All right, Jenna, thank you so much. That was
yes.
That was dope. I
Thank
really
you for
appreciate you
having
coming
me.
through.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.